Hello, hello. I am so glad you're here. This is Scrapbook Sunday for summer 2026 Stamping Cross Country. I am so glad you're here. I am going to record this ahead of time. Hopefully it all goes well. Just because I got really excited and I've been sitting here waiting for the time to come, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to give it a shot. I am going to record ahead of time. And then that way I can sit and talk in the comments with you guys. So thank you for coming. I hope you had, for those of you that have been with us this weekend with Stamping Cross Country, it's good to see you back. For those that are joining me outside of our paid retreat, welcome. We're so glad you found us. And so I'm going to show, this is me, by the way. It was just easier to do this than have the camera and switch. So anyway, hello. Or as I say, hello. Don't mind me. So I am going to work on the, I'm going to show you this layout here with the Extraordinary Life Scrapbooking Workshop kit from Stampin' Up. Now, full disclosure, I'm not a scrapbooker. I just don't have the patience for it. I have to be, I like cards because of the finished product. And so scrapbooking to me takes a lot to do. So one thing I found very helpful to do, it comes stapled, is I took the staple out because especially when you're working to see, it worked better for me to see it for the first time. So because I'm working on layout 1, Stampin' Up in these instructions give you cutting layouts. They even tell you which paper you're going to be cutting out. And they have each one of them labeled. Let me use this one instead. They have each one labeled with a number and a letter. The letters go A through J, I believe. But you'll see like this says 3A. This is actually for the third 2-page layout. And it's the first piece that they're going to use. So there's that. There's 3 sides again showing you which paper is which. I did go through this and circle all of the ones because that is the one that I am working on right now. If you were to do all 3 of them at the same time, you wouldn't have to circle those. Just make sure. The other thing I'm going to do is that with each cut piece, I'm going to label them. So I actually have stickies here. A, B, C, all the way through J, because I know that J is my last one. So as I cut the pieces, I'm going to label them as to what they are. And you will be cutting out, so 1, 2, and 3. So for 1, you'll be cutting out for both layouts. All the 2s will be for both layouts, and all the 3s will be for both layouts. You'll use different pieces for each layout. So anyway, there's that. So the first thing we need to do, now this particular layout calls for, you'll see on the front page that it tells you project 1, 2, and 3, that's layout 1, layout 2, layout 3, tells you what size pictures you need for each one. Well, I'm a rebel. Don't tell me what to do. I didn't read the instructions before I ordered my print. So all mine are 4 by 6, but I think I can get at least 1 or 2 of them cut down. So I will probably be doing something a little bit different than how the layout shows as far as like the pictures. Okay. It talks about the materials that you need. This kit, journaling pens, some dimensionals, stamping seal, or if you would prefer, the liquid glue, paper snip scissors, take your pick tool, which I really encourage. You definitely want that. you should have that in your everyday kit anyway. A paper trimmer, a cutting mat, or sturdy cardboard. So this is the one I have. This one's is actually really, really old. This is probably pretty close to 20 years old, if not 15. Yeah, so this is an old one that I have. You can use whatever you want. They even suggested using cardboard. You could even use the really thick chipboard that you get in some of your designer series papers. That would work also, because what you're doing, and I'm going to kind of jump ahead a little bit, is at some point you are going to cut your page, cut like a little slit, because there's going to be a pocket on the back side. And so when you cut it, you're going to want to have something protecting that back sheet. So like I said, thick chipboard works really wonderful if you don't have any of those other tools. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead. I did go through and I picked out all of the papers that I'm going to need, so I'm not thumbing through all of the pages. These are my pictures from On Stage in Long Beach. I got to celebrate my 20 years with Stampin' Up. So that was pretty awesome. Okay, so this one here, we need to cut out 2 pieces of 5x12. And just to make sure, yep, it's the same. You can see here that one sheet is being used for the first layout. The second piece is being used, part of it, for the second layout. And then there's some extra. And I believe Cindy and or Cheryl are going to be using some of these extra pieces. Like here's an extra piece also for their scrapbook pages or scrapbook projects. So this is that one. So let me go ahead and get my trimmer over here. Again, we need to cut 2 of them 5x12. And this is the first time I've ever used a scrapbooking kit from Stampin' Up. So we're going to be learning together. So it looks like maybe we need to cut it so that the design is this way. Not sure if that's what they intended, but that's what we're going to do. So I need 2 pieces of 5 inches. I'm going to go ahead and cut 2 pieces at 5. And it's already 12 inches. Cut the second one. And since this is being recorded, feel free to pause if I'm going too fast. I mean, you probably don't even have your kit with you today because this was not something that we had required. This is a public video, so we're not expecting anybody to have their kits. So I need to label these 1A and 1F. So here is my 1A. Let me go down and find my 1F. Now, you do not have to pre-do your stickies. I just thought it would be faster while I do the video. So we got those. I'm going to put those aside. These are done. I don't have a pencil. I do have a pencil. I just couldn't remember where I put it. So I'm going to go ahead and do a check mark on each of those. Okay, I'll put this one aside. Don't need that one anymore for now. Okay, so now we need these 2 pieces here. And these are 1/2 inches by 12. And we want the paper with the stripes on it. Let me find that in my paper. So there's our stripes. And there's the leaf. So I am going to look on the 1-inch pieces for the picture and see what direction. Okay, so they do have the stripes going horizontal, which is how they're showing it here. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these at 1/2 an inch, and I'm going to make sure that the stripes are going horizontally. Now with the stamping trimmer, what's really wonderful is that over here, you can't see it. I can't see it. On this side, you can see there's a 1/2 inch mark, and that's where what I'm going to use to cut my 1/2 inches. Oh, wrong direction. That was vertical. I need to go horizontal. So there's 1/2 inch. I'm a little crowded here. Working with 12 by 12 paper takes up a lot more room. There's one 1/2 inch piece and a second 1/2 inch piece. Now these pieces are labeled D and I, and because these are so little, I'm going to put them together like this. I'm going to find, okay, there's I, and I need to get to G or D, and there's D. And that the stickiness from the sticky notes kind of holds it together, because they are so little, I don't want them to get lost. Okay, so then we also need a 3.5 by 4.5. And if we look at the picture, this is the 3.5 by 4.5, and this is the 3.5 by 8 3/4. So we're using the leaf side of those two. So we're going to go ahead and just visually be able to do it this way. So we have 10 inches by 12. This shows doing 3.5 and then 3.5. So I'm going to do 3.5. We'll go ahead and cut both 3.5 pieces, and then I'll trim them down to their other side. 3.5. Okay. So I'm going to cut 1E, which needs to be cut down to 4.5. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it at 4.5. And that is 1E. So I'm going to get my sticky for that. And then move that to the side. And then this is 1J. And this one needs to be cut down to 8 3/4. Go ahead and do that. 8 3/4. Okay. And that one is 1J. I'll get my sticky, put it on there like that. Perfect. And let's see. Okay, so we've done these 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't see any more ones on this page. You can see on this grid down here, there's mostly 3s, but there is a 2 on here. And there is also 2s and 3s on this one. So make sure you look very carefully, make sure you get all of the pieces you need. Now this one uses the 2-tone cardstock that's in the package. So let me grab that. And since there isn't a direction on this paper, we don't need to worry about direction. Don't need to worry about it. Okay. So this is, we're going to need 2 pieces of 2.5 by 12. I'm actually going to go ahead, because this is such a big piece, I'm going to go 5 inches, because 2.5 times 2 is 5. I'm going to go 5 inches, remove the excess, and then cut at 2.5. And then I'm going to put my stickies on that. It's 1C and 1H. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put those aside. Got those. Okay, so, whoop, yeah, that's right. We're good. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to find 2 pieces of willow white, because both of our last bits are Willow White, and they're both 10.5 by 10.5. Now, I'm going to show you a little trick. When you're working with big pieces of paper and you don't want to have to put the arm out just because, if you take 12 inches minus 10.5, you'll get 1.5, right? Yeah, 1.5 inches. So if you cut off 1.5 inches, that will give you your 10.5. You don't have to do it this way. This is just a way of doing it. If that hurts your brain, don't do it that way. Honestly, do it the way that doesn't make your brain hurt. Okay, so there's 10.5 that way. And now this time I am pulling the arm out only because for those that, it's hurting their brain to even look at, I don't want to do that. I'm going to go ahead and do it the other way. So I do that sometimes where I will. But then the other thing to consider too is from here to the edge of the cutter is also 1.5 inches. So you could do it that way without putting the arm out. So 10.5. And this doesn't have to be precise. It's not like, you're trying to make it fit on something. It ends up being the background. Okay, so this is now 1B and 1G. Okay, so now we have those pieces. We can go ahead and mark those off. All right, so now we are done with this. We can put this aside. You do want to keep, well, you have this, but yeah, we have this picture here. So I was reading this over because I just wanted to make sure that I understood what was going on and that there wasn't a lot of confusion on the camera when I was doing this with you. So I think because my pictures, well, I don't know where I want to put my pictures is the problem. I haven't thought that far ahead. So I'm going to do this bit of instruction last. That is where you're going to adhere the photo to this little pocket. And then you're going to pull this out. So we can pull those pieces out, but I don't want to do exactly what this says yet. I want to wait until the end. So what they're referring to on this, where it says 1E and 1J, adhere photos to 1E, 1E being this little piece. Let me grab it so you can visualize. So it's telling you to go ahead and put this photo on this 1E. But honestly, I'm not sure that that's what I want to do. So I'm not going to do that. The other thing they're asking you to do is to adhere the photo to this guy. And this one's kind of easy. You can tell, what it is that you're using that. But check this out. On the back side, it actually says what project each of these pieces are for. So this page only has one item on it, 2 items that are for project 2, which is this one. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take this and put it to the side. Because since this whole piece of die cut sheet is for project 1, I will probably end up tossing it. I don't want to keep something that has a bunch of holes on it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? Okay. There we go. But not both of those aside. So this is the one that it's talking about. 1J. 1J. That's 1J. a Lost Lagoon pocket, and 1J. That doesn't make any sense because this actually goes on the second page. Huh. Yeah, so sometimes the instructions don't make a whole lot of sense. And honestly, I encourage you to go rogue. Just because that's what the instructions say to do does not mean you have to do that. So here is my pocket. Let's see here. Sorry, got distracted. So here's my pocket. It doesn't have any score lines on it, which I think it should have score lines. So let's go ahead and score it now while we're thinking about it, so we're not stuck doing it later. So let's see here. I'm going to put it on here. I'm going to line up the corner right here of where these two meet. And because I'm lining this up with the bottom of the trimmer, it should be pretty straight. But I'm going to line up this corner with the track of my trimmer and then I'm going to use my scoring blade to score that. Oh shoot! Oh no! Oh no, Mr. Bill. I kind of cut that. Who's going to know? You're not going to tell me, all right? I'm going to do it again for the bottom. Okay, and then one more time, only this time, I don't know that I trust this to be even. So I'm going to do it on this side. Go ahead and get that scored. Just like that. So we're going to put this aside because we're not ready for it yet. All right, so the first thing that it says to do is to use the Flirty Flamingo crosshatch paper. So that looks like, I'm getting it, this crosshatch paper. And you have two of these, and these are both for this layout number 1. Okay, I like laying things out to decide how I want them to be. It says this is 1A, which was one of these guys. 1A, okay. And then we're going to skip this. And then we have 1C, which was this one. And it looks to me like they used that. Okay, yeah, that's even. Okay. They used the lighter. If you decide you like the darker, you can use the darker. It does, if you're going by the way the directions saying, you do not have to. They do have the darker flower on there and it might blend in, but you know what? You can move the flower so it's over here if you want to. You do not have to put it exactly where it says. Okay. And then we are going to put in, so we got 1C, 1D, which remember was one of these 1/2-inch pieces. And we're going to put that there. Okay. And then, oh, you know what? We forgot something. Yeah, we forgot something. Okay. We want to put 1B. So we're going to put 1B. There's 1A. Here's 1B. 1C, which is still lined up with 1A. And then we got 1D right here, our little stripes, horizontal stripes. And then 1E goes here. And where's our envelope? Here's our envelope. So they have the envelope. I'm going to go ahead and fold these down just so that I can visualize how it's going to be on the page. They have the envelope going right here. The other thing we need from that die cut sheet is this piece right here. So get that out. And you know what? While we're here, let's go ahead and I'm going to pull these out. That might be a mistake because I might end up losing something. But this is driving me crazy. But you know what? Let me show you something. You know, if you were here during the weekend or you've been with me at any time, you know I like my containers to contain things. I got these at the Dollar Tree. They're in like the teacher education area. I love this tray. It fits an 8.5 by 5.5 inch card base and all of the pieces just perfectly. So when I'm prepping for classes, everything fits in here. So I'm going to use that to put all these pieces in. This one, yep, there was a piece I think I saw that did not have any kind of label on it, meaning, oh, see, now that one's for project 3. Let's put that one aside. And then, yep, that's project 1. This little flag right here. Project 1. I don't know what I saw that didn't have a number. Maybe I was seeing things. I'm just going to keep taking this out. You know what? I don't have the patience for this. I know I'm going to need it for this layout, but for this moment, I am just going to tear it off like that. We'll punch it out later. Okay. Okay, so we have these pieces here. This is for a picture. Move this here. That goes in there like so. The other thing that I didn't point out to you guys is that in your kit, you have these placeholders. And these are just the 3x4 ones, but there's 4x6, there's 3x3. So that when you're doing your layouts, if you know you're trying to get a sense for what will go there, you can use that. If you think that you'll come back to it later and you don't think you'll remember, you could always put it on there. I think there's enough for all of the pages. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and put this life is a journey down here. Now there was a note about this life is a journey. Let me see if I can find it in here. In fact, we'll finish reading the directions because, you know, don't need no stinking directions. Okay. All right. So number 1 was to use the Flirty Flamingo crosshatch. Number 2 is to adhere 1 A, B, C, D. So we got A, B, C, D. And then prepared E is going to be, they're calling it prepared because according to them, you should have put a photo on it already. Then you want to create the pocket by scoring and folding the flaps of the Lost Lagoon pre-cut pocket, which we did, and adhering them to the page. So we will adhere that to the page when we get ready to. And this is where we're going to insert the journaling piece. We want to embellish with the pre-cut pieces and the stickers as shown. So let me grab the stickers. I feel like we've already done the die cuts. Where's our, oh, there's a couple of stars. I didn't see the stars. They must be on here. Okay, so there's a couple of stars that we can use. And there's the flowers. It looks like we're using 2 of these and 2 of these white ones on this layout here. So I feel pretty confident that I like where all of that is. I'm going to put this back in its container. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this part down. Okay. I'm going to wait on the other in just a second, but I am going to go ahead and glue this down. that to the side. Here's A. So I'm going to use the liquid glue, just because that's what I have. I do have the tape runner, but I think I'm tape runner challenged. I used to like it. In fact, when I first started, when I first became a demonstrator, that's all I used was the tape runner. And then I don't know what happened. Well, I know what happened. I moved from Northern California, which is a dry climate, down to Southeast Texas, which is, I mean, basically a swamp. And I believe, I could be wrong, some people have really good luck with it. So maybe it's a personal thing. Maybe I'm just challenged. I don't know. I think because of the humidity, my pieces started falling apart. So I just wanted to line that up. So I just did that. Line that up. Okay. So now go ahead and put this one down. This one kind of goes in the center like this. The nice thing about the liquid is you get enough on there, you can kind of scoot it around how you want to. I don't know if that's straight or not, but we're going to go with it. And I think I do want the darker color just because I want more contrast. I thought it was just blending in too much. So I'm going to put this one down. I guess I should have left the stickies on there so we could see what was what. But okay. Make sure this is all lined up. Oh, it's scooted over. Oh no. Scooch over. There we go. I keep bumping you, and I apologize for that. Okay. Now we're going to do this one, the strip. And I think I'm going to go ahead and turn this way and make it a little bit easier for me to line up. Since I only did a single line of blue. I'm starting to slide underneath because I don't glue all the way to the edge. That's just me. I just don't. Okay. I do think I like the pocket. I'm going to get my bone folder and kind of burnish this a little bit. I do like my pocket pretty much where they suggest to put it, but I do think I'm going to scooch it over to the right a little bit more. Oh, yeah, it's actually supposed to go right here. If the picture is to be followed. So let me show you. So according to the picture here, we have like, I don't know, half an inch of a gap there. Oh, it tells you 1 3/8 inch from the edge, which I'm going to eyeball it. So that's the other thing that they did too. If you are very much someone who likes to know how far away you need to be on all the pieces, Stampin' Up does tell you. So you can kind of get an idea of where to put things. I'm an eyeballer. I just eyeball. It's just the way I do it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. But I do like where they suggested to put the pocket because I thought it needed to be over more anyway. And since I do have quite a few, well, actually, you know what? I just noticed most of my pockets, most of my pictures are landscape. But you know what? This is the first page of the 2-page layout. We will go ahead. If I was doing a landscape picture, I probably, you know what? I'm doing it. I'm just going to do it. We're going to change this up. Stampin' Up's going to be like, what are you doing? It's a good thing they don't see my pockets or my scrapbook pages. Okay, so I'm going to put it down there because I do have quite a few landscape pictures. So I will do that. And then I think, so let's decide what we're going to do. So I have this one that I could do. That one works really well because it's got some of the colors that are there. And then I like this one. I think this would be a good one up here. This shows our Stampin' Cross Country group with Shelly. But I do want to trim this down. I think I can trim this right here and right here. So let me get my paper trimmer out. I want to scratch that picture. I'm going to go ahead and trim it. And I probably, if there's any rules of scrapbooking, I probably don't follow them. I do my own thing. This. Kind of wanted to keep that Stampin' Up in there. So let's see, what did I end up cutting this down to? 5 inches by 3 1/4 ish. So with a needle and thread, let's go ahead. Let's see, I was going to go ahead and put this one on here. Let me go ahead and glue that. Oh, I got quiet. Okay, so there we go. Okay, so now we have, here's our journaling card. They do have a pocket here. I would probably use this pocket for some memorabilia that I might have. In the instructions, it's interesting because it says to put the card and the photo in. You wouldn't even know there was a photo there if you hadn't read the instructions. So, yeah, I'm just going to use this as my souvenir pocket. So because this is not 4x6, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this. Let's see, we do still have our life is a journey. I like that, but I feel like it's getting lost in the white. You know what? I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab a blender pen, a blender brush, and I have no idea how long I've gone so far. I don't have a timer. Oh, 38 minutes. Okay. So I do need to hurry because I don't want to, we'll get those. If this one's not enough, this other one should do it. A lot of times when I use my blending brushes, I definitely don't clean them. Sometimes most of the time, I just use whatever ink is left on them. And you can't see this really well, but there is a little bit of ink coming off. Let me get this blue one and see if I can. And if that doesn't work, I will just keep grabbing blending brushes until I get something that gives me some color. So see, that gave me some color. Because all I'm really trying to do is darken the background just enough so that this life doesn't get lost. So I can show you the difference here really quick. So here, it kind of gets, to me, it gets lost. But over here, there's just enough of color there to get it to stand out. So I really like the way that I like this layout. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with this layout, and then I will put some more of the embellishments on. If you want to put flowers behind the pocket or something else, that is something you need to think about before you go start gluing things down, such as I have. Let's see. That's actually not too bad. I was really worried that that would blend in too much, but I don't think it does. I think it's beautiful. Yeah, I like that. Let me get my finger into there. Okay, so one of the benefits to not gluing all the way around is you can sneak these things in. Get up a little bit. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to go ahead and put this picture down. Do I? I should have thought this through a bit, but you know what? That's okay. We're going with it. I need to glue this down first. In the instructions, it says not to glue down the top part because you are going to be putting some embellishments behind it. So, I mean, it makes sense, but I'm impatient. Remember, I don't scrapbook because I'm impatient. And oh, yeah, that's what I wanted to do. I can do that. I like that. Okay, got that. Let's see here. What other embellishments? Oh, we said there were stars. The stars. I haven't glued this down, so if we wanted to put a flower behind there, we could. So we've got 2 of the roses we can use. We've already used our one white one. So there's the white. There's the 2 colored ones. We get to have 2 stars. And the reason why I say we get to have is because you have other layouts that you're going to do. So, so you don't want to use all your embellishments on this one page. Then you won't have them on your other pages. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. Can you see where I did that? Yeah. I am taking my time, and I shouldn't be doing that. I need to hurry up. But this is what happens when you're doing it on the fly. I should have bought a second. Should have bought a second one of these. So I could have had this planned out, but that's okay. It's okay. I'm going to go ahead and I think I'm going to use that same blending brush up here so that I can kind of just like knock down some of that color. I used blue, but I bet yellow would really be good. I've got a couple of yellows I could use. I don't know if that did anything. There we go. There we go. Some yellow. Because we do actually have some yellow in this paper over there. And down here in the picture. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that down. And I will be watching the comments while this is playing, even though it's pre-recorded, and then I'll interact with you in the comments. So there we go. There is the first of the 2-page layout. Okay, not bad. Only took us 43 minutes. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's grab the second one. We're going to do that here. We need all of our pieces that we had before, that we already pre-cut. We need G. Okay, so whereas before we had the dotted, the dashes or crosses over there, we've got them over here on this side. So here's one F. Here is one G. Actually, you know what? Let's just do it. We're going to, rather than dry fitting, we know that we liked this piece on. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this glued on. Again, I will probably do that to get it lined up. I'll use the table to help. Okay, so that was one F that we just glued on. And here is one G. G. That's pretty good. And even if it's crooked, it's okay. I mean, I should go really rogue and make it crooked, but I won't do that to you guys. Okay. Then we've got, that was one G. Oh, yeah. And I liked the dark, although I might want to go light this time just to give it a little bit of difference. I'm going to do that. I'm going to go light on the light side of the two-tone Flirty Flamingo this time. And then that gets lined up here with that. And then we take our, because it's our striped, but it looks more like dashes now that because of the way it's been cut. And we take that one and put it here. Now I do want to hurry because there is something that we have to do back with page 1. We might have to do with page 2 also, but I at least want to show you the technique. Okay, so we want this pocket. We need to score this. So just like we did with the other one, get this scored. Like so. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and we'll get this glued down. Now this one, actually, we could be different and do it this way. Where's my pictures? There's my pictures. And then you could put your picture in that way. You know what? Let's do that. Just because we can. Let me get my bone folder. Burnish all these edges. And if I go over, just pause me because Cindy and Marcy might be going live and you don't want to miss them. So I might even post this a little early, but honestly, you can always come back to mine. I don't want you to miss theirs. So I'm going to put this up here because they are going to be live and they are going to be looking for people commenting while they work. Okay, so they're also showing that this pocket goes in here. Let's see here. Here's this actually says save water, drink tequila, if you like that kind of thing. Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about that part, but that's okay. What's done is done. Okay, so they're also showing that this piece was used. One of the flowers, the little white flower was used. So let's do that. That was kind of under here like this. I'm going to put that over there. I'm going to, and you know what I might even do with this little ticket, because it's kind of like, well, not kind of like, there is a date on it, or a place to put a date. I might actually put the date right there. And then they had a little, this one here. Oh, we didn't put stars on that other page, did we? I think I will put that up there. You can see it was down here at the bottom of the pocket. I'm going to do that there at the top. Right there. Okay. Then we used, okay, so then this piece, the 1J, that goes, technically it was supposed to go here. And it still could if you wanted to do more, do more stuff down there. I think what I might do, because I'm going rogue, people, is I'm going to do this. And so the story behind this picture is this is where Barb is supposed to go. And I didn't get a picture printed of Barb to be able to put in there. So it's not there yet. But it will be there. Okay, I'm going to put that down there. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this. And put this on here. I'm going to go ahead and I hope I'm not giving any true scrapbookers hives because I'm doing things the non-traditional scrapbooking way. That would be awful. Okay, there's that. Let's see. We have this here they have going behind some pictures. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And because I don't glue all the way to the edge, I'm able to do that. I want it to kind of hang over onto this part. So that's where it is. Okay. This one they had going up there, up here. So I might, let's see, what will I do? You know what? I might do that. I think I like that. It fits perfectly there. Instead of putting it in the pocket. I hope that I have at least encouraged you to lay out your page as your heart desires. You know what? I'm going to put that there. I like that. You do not have to stay in the box. You can be out of the box. You can do whatever makes your heart happy when it comes to crafting. Some of the things that people do are out of the box and are fantastic. Okay, so we've got one more flower, one more big flower, one more little flower, and we've got a couple of stars. So let's see, where do we want to do this? I like this. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Like that. And then we've got a couple of stars. I'm going to go ahead and take off all 4 of them because I still need to put 2 stars on that other page, or I need to decide if I want to put all the stars on this page. I think I like this page the way it is. I don't think it needs any stars. And honestly, I don't know that I want to use stars on this either. Yeah, I don't want to use stars. I'm going to put the stars back because I like it the way it is. So, and that just gives you permission that you don't have to use all of the elements that they show to use. So we used the flowers. We used 2 of the white ones. We used the big one. We have the little ticket, the flag with the stars, the best of days. We used that. Yeah, so I'd say that looks pretty good. So this is our 2-page layout. And again, you can decide if you want it to be in the book this way or if you want it to be in this way. Now, I did forget to use this picture. This is one of my favorite pictures. Oh, I forgot to show you the other thing that they wanted you to do. They showed you to do. So this one probably should have been front and center somewhere because I do love that picture. Thank you so much, Cheryl, for snapping that picture. if I had thought about it ahead of time, I wouldn't have put glue at the top of this, and I could have used the picture as a pocket. So what you're going to do, because these are pockets and you want people to be able to pull stuff out, put stuff in, what you're going to do is you're going to put your protector sheet in, or put your page in the protector sheet. You are going to get a pencil. I had one here. I don't know what happened to it. There it is. You're going to get a pencil, and you're going to mark where they also say to use a ruler. I'm going to go ahead and do that because I don't trust myself to be straight. Get a ruler to mark where the line should go. Pull the page out. Put whatever it is you're going to use to protect the back page. And for this instance, it's not big enough, but that's okay. I'm going to use the ruler again and lining it up. Oops. I'm going to cut the page, protector page, as far as I need to. If you have a big one, you can do that. I'm finding that this ruler is a little slippery. So if you have a ruler that has a cork back on it, I bet that would work really, really well. Okay, I think I got it. Yep, look at that. I got it. Okay, so we're going to pull that out. Put this back in. This. Oh, 4 minutes. I think we're just going to make it. And then that way you can put things in and out of your pocket through the page. And so you would do the same thing on this side for this pocket. So put it in the page, mark it, pull this out, put your protector in, cut it. And then if you do have any pencil residue, you can go ahead and rub it off. I don't think I had any pencil residue. I think I marked hard enough that it didn't matter. So anyway, there are my pages for layout number 1. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you so much for watching. And hopefully we'll see you next time for Stamping Cross Country Fall, which will be October the 2nd, 3rd, and then Scrapbook Sunday will be on October 4th. So thank you so much. Have a fantastic day, and I hope that you go quickly and enjoy Marcy's page coming up next.